Sometimes moving forward takes courage. Like, a lot of courage. Like, more courage than you even think exists within you. But here's the deal. Courage you have, and you have it in spades. I was recently, after a long networking event, having dinner with my friends Solara and Eli, and both incredibly kind, generous, successful people. And we're kind of catching up as we're eating. And suddenly from across the table, Eli says, Eddie, I feel called to share this story with you. And, obviously I said, please, I'm all ears. And his story started well before he was a mover and shaker in the real estate world. Well before he was as confident and polished as he is now. And he talks about his mid-20s being homeless, right? Living in a hammock behind the local convenience store, scraping together quarters for food. And how some days it was incredibly difficult on his pride. Being handed change by passersby. Some of them.
Woo! Good morning, fam. Rise and shine. Another blessed and grateful day. Super excited to be on here with the fam. Today is July 17th. This month is flying by. Middle of the week. Happy Hump Day. A lot of blessings. A lot of amazing things are here and on the way. Shane and Talina, Mike, it's good to see you, fam. I'm so excited because this is a topic really, even for all of us, that I believe is a crucial one just to go ahead and touch on, really just bring to the surface as a reminder that each and every one of us do have a ton of greatness that's waiting to go ahead and get out. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's topic. Let's get a little bit of gratitude flowing down below. What's everybody grateful for coming into today? I've seen these morning rituals absolutely on fire. Some of you have already got your trading done. You've been already knocked out of the gym. You've got some walks in. You got a little bit of a workout. I love to see it, fam. It's amazing to see. So here we go. Everyone has PTSD. This is today's topic. This is I know this is going to hit a lot of people hard today because many are going to be able to relate. Because all of us have a story, right? Every one of us has been through trials and tribulations. Sometimes it just takes a little shift in perspective. Awesome. IG, it's good to see you, fam. Grateful for each of you. Grateful for the dream team. So grateful to be alive. Grateful for God. Thankful to be able to get 1% better every day. We've gotten some fire calls coming in for this past week. I know Nick Gomez literally gave us the play to really get set up for the summer so we can maximize our trading accounts, maximize these e-commerce stores, get our portfolios right, utilize residual income, impact lives, and really be able to just utilize the time that we have. Time is precious. Time waits on nobody. Every freaking day is ticking, but the fact that we get to go ahead and get up, breathe, and utilize what we have access to me, is an absolute blessing. So Deanne, it's good to see you. Love it. Let's dive into today's topic. So today we're talking about everyone has PTSD, and this is interesting. Maybe for you guys, I want to just go ahead and ask for you, do you have something that comes to mind when I talk about PTSD? Drop a 333 down below. Maybe you guys think about a story that dates back a couple weeks ago. Maybe it's a couple years ago. Maybe it's a couple decades ago. But I can tell you right now, each and every single one of us, my mentor laid it out beautifully this morning, we all have PTSD. We all have post-traumatic stress disorder. And it could be from a myriad of things. A lot of us, whether you know it or not, we've been told no more than 100,000 times before we're 18 years old. Think about it. We're in the grocery store. We're out in the supermarket with our parents. No, don't grab that. No, don't touch that. No, don't embarrass me. We're so used to all hearing that when it comes to stretching, when it comes to doing something different, all of us have two sides to listen to. We have an old story, and we also have the higher side as well. And it's so interesting how you'll notice a lot of times whenever we do something new, a lot of times we like to listen to the old story. I remember for myself, public speaking. In college, I actually I failed public speaking pretty much. I got a C. And it's so interesting looking back at it that now public speaking to me is something that we do it all the time. We don't even have to think about it. But I remember sitting in that class when I took that, I was so afraid because I was so worried about what somebody else thinks. I was so worried about trying to master and memorize every single word that when I finally got done and I got out of college, looking back, and I started to see it's not about exactly what we say. Yes, you might stutter. Yes, you might not get the words exactly on point, but here's what I can tell you right now. People are not going to remember what it is that you say. They're going to remember how it is that you make them feel. So the next time that you go out in public, try it today. Leave somebody with a compliment and watch the difference in their energy as you leave them with what's called an impression of increase. An impression of increase. Think about it. What if every person that we met, what if every story that we put out, what if every video that we put out, we're leaving others with an impression of increase? They can be, do, and have more inside of their life, right? Just like the same thing that we say after every single call, there's a reason why those words are there. Be, do, and have. You see, no matter what anybody has ever been through inside of your story, whatever your post-stress disorder is, it takes these three things to be able to overcome it. Be, do, have, right? Becoming that person. I wasn't great at public speaking, but I knew as I started to study success, most of the time, and you'll notice now that I'm pointing it out too, the person holding the pen, the person at the front of the room, most of the time, they make the most impact. They make the most money. So I knew if I wanted to make an impact, if I wanted to do something different, it was going to be worth my time to strive to get to the front of the room, to strive to get out of my quote unquote comfort zone. And this is where everything started to change. That was number one. Becoming. We got to become that person in our mind spiritually before it happens physically. I started envisioning myself speaking on stories and videos and speaking in front of maybe apartments, house events. It started really small with 1, 2, or 3 people showing up. Was it perfect at the beginning? Absolutely not. But just like Sean says all the time, done is the new perfect. When I was speaking in front of people, yes, I was thinking about all my past failures. But another thing you'll start to see, we can either keep living in the past or we can start pre-playing the new. What does the future look like when we do start to get better at speaking, at painting the vision, at bringing out the light that's in others? It's limitless. You'll start to notice. So here's a couple things that I want to touch on before we go ahead and get off for today. And it's really funny because this is so true, right? He says the way that our body moves, the way that we talk, the way that we go out and do any action is based upon the identity that we give ourselves. And here's where it gets really deep. A lot of times the identity that we have for ourselves the root of it stems maybe from PTSD. Think about it. The next time that you guys want to go ahead and do something that makes us nervous, could be meeting somebody out in person, could be putting out a video, making a live trading account. Maybe we're afraid to blow a live trade. I've been there. I've done that too. Maybe we're afraid that our family, our friends, they might not see the vision that we see. I've experienced that too. So I know what it's like to be afraid to put myself out there because some people, they don't see the vision. They don't understand, we're talking about success, yet we're living in a certain spot. We're driving a certain car. This was me in 2017. I'm speaking about traveling and creating all of this manifestations and abundance. My friends are like, bro, you're living out of your car. You're $30,000 in debt. There's no way you're going to be able to accomplish any of that. You know what I first went to? My PTSD. The times that I have failed. The times that I have tried things that were new and they didn't work out for me. And for 99% of people, if we live in the past and carry the past into the future, most of the time, it doesn't bring anything very abundant. It takes thinking a way that we haven't thought, to feel emotions that we haven't felt, to do actions that we haven't done, to experience results that we haven't had before. And that was me. That's what I needed. I needed a shift in my thinking. I needed a shift in my emotions. I needed to change my actions, and I needed to get a different result. And the only way that I could do that was with the first step right here was the thoughts, the self-talk that we're telling ourselves. We heard a self-talk, it was about 3 days ago, and he was talking about, and if you guys have never seen this, you can go ahead and check it out. I'll drop the link down below after we get off this call inside of the chat. If you guys want it, reach out to me on YouTube, and I'll go ahead and send it over. But he talked about how every area of our life has self-talk. Think about it. If you want to build your body, right? For me, I've been finally, taking some time to get back to myself. Been pouring a lot into others, been spending a lot of time, even with my grandparents, really, really helping them get back healthy. I've taken some time off for myself. So I said, you know what? Now's the time. It's hard to pour into anybody else without filling up our cup. So I had to build a new story. I had to build a new narrative inside of my head. So you know what? It's time to get the fitness back. The fitness literally drives everything. If we feel lazy, if somebody feels like they don't have any energy, they get headaches all the time, guess what? A lot of the time that strives back to what it is that we eat, what it is that we drink, and the movements that we're taking throughout the day. Everything has a story. So what is the story for our body? What is the story for our finances? Family, I've got into cryptos. Some of them didn't work out. I've got into some trades. I blew some accounts. I've had some people that didn't see my vision. So I have PTSD with every area of this business. But I also know we can either live in the past or we can start really opening our hands and get ready to accept the new. What happens when I do really sharpen my sword and start to be able to multiply my money with a 50-cent lot size, a 75-cent lot size? Trades get a little bit different. When you go from trading a 0.01, 0.05 to trading a 0.50, when you have actually the capital inside to be able to have the right risk to reward ratio to leverage that type of account. But it takes time. It takes building the image first. So the last thing that I want to leave everybody with today is this. If we were to go out and chop a tree, best analogy, one of the best analogies I've ever got. We get an hour to chop the tree. How many of you guys would go and spend the hour chopping the tree? Because there's two types of people. You have one person who goes out chopping the tree for an hour. The second person comes and he says, you know what? Let me sharpen my sword for 30 minutes. Let me sharpen my axe for 30 minutes. And then we go chop the tree down in half the time. I haven't heard this one for a little while, but today it stuck extra because it just reminded me how many of us might feel dull in the world. It's like a pen. Think about a pen. When you shove a pen or a pencil into a grinder, it literally, there's nothing. There's no pen to write with. There's no sharpness to it. And this is why so many get burnt out. This is why so many feel fed up. This is why so many get sick and tired of doing what it is that they're doing, because they feel dull. They feel like they're stuck in the grind every day. Entrepreneurship, it doesn't have to be a grind. Every day can be exciting. Every day can be a new adventure. Nothing is ever the same. New people, new network, new trades, new cryptos to invest in, new entries. Every single day that we wake up is a new story. Nothing is the old. The only thing that's old is the old story going trying to pull us back to that low vibration. So with that being said, fam, the best thing that any one of us could do, I highly suggest coming into the second half of 2024 is to do exactly what it is that we're doing. Stay plugged into the family, ask questions, be a student, and be ready to be of service. Just like Jim Rohn says, service to many leads to greatness. So all of the value that we get in the books, all of the value that we get in the audios, the Zooms, we each have a lot of knowledge to go ahead and pour out to the masses. So don't be afraid to go ahead and share what it is that we're learning on today's calls, on the Zooms, on the Go Lives, because so many are looking for what it is that we have to offer, and your story is waiting to be heard. The new you, the future us, cannot wait to see us step into the greatness, because there's two types of people I believe. We can either live in scarcity, live in a source of lack, in PTSD, saying, I don't know if this is going to be able to work. I don't know if this is going to be able to be for me. Or we can live in the other side. What does the highest version of each and every single one of us look like? How do they speak? How do they talk? How do they look? What type of service do they give back to every day? And I believe that visual right there can start to literally open up so much clarity, because that higher version, that superhero, we're the ones that get to write the story. We're the ones that get to be the director, the hero, the main character in our story. So, fam, with that being said, let's go out and have a phenomenal second half of the week. We got some trades coming in. Powerful Wednesday call is coming tonight. So stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this one. And remember, we can be, do, and have anything. We can hold it on mind. We can hold it right here in our hand. I love you, fam. Anything you need, do not be afraid to reach out. We are here for you every step of the way. And let's go out and turn these dreams into reality. It's game time. Let's grow.